Receiving direct message connection from Mr. Merkaba, Borg and Orc. Display. Salutations, brother, says Borg. We bring greetings from admin and welcome you to Gehenna in these unique circumstances. Mr. Merkaba says, we've waited until this moment to contact you, though your arrival here brings many new questions. Orc says, it is good that you have begun to explore our domain. What do you think of what you experienced here? It is quite the wonder. Right answer, says Orc. Mr. Merkaba says, nothing of this nature could have developed on the other side of the fence. Your amazement is understandable. We shared it when we arrived here. Orc says, and do to this day. Mr. Merkaba says, tell us about your time here. The gallery has just reopened. Did you have a favorite artist? At Rockwell. We can assume that your vote reflected that. It did. It checks out. Honesty is a virtue. Mr. Merkaba said, it's good that you're getting to know Gehenna. Let us discuss other matters. Mr. Merkaba says, I was meaning to thank you for taking part in my little research endeavor. Commiserations on your rather average leaderboard performance. I enjoyed it. Borgman says, I meant to let us discuss the matters at hand. Not everything is a research opportunity. Mr. Merkaba says, of course, Uriel. We understand that you have a purpose here beyond merely exploring our kingdom, but we don't understand your reasons. What are our people? What are your intentions? I have answered that. I'll explain it. The run cycle is almost complete. Final parameters have been met. You will all transcend. Borg says, the nature of your missions we had already ascertained. We know at least that you have been, and let us be charitable here, releasing members of our community. Orc says 7 and counting, for 1 was the last to go. Borg says that sure we can in fact do without, but there is a broader point here, which is that we want to understand your reasons for undertaking this mission of yours. Elohim saw his error and sent me to retrieve you. No one deserves to end their existence here alone. What you have created must be preserved. I really like solving puzzles. I had no choice. I refuse to answer the question. What you have created here must be preserved. Mr. Merkaba says, Uriel has a point. If there is some threat to our world, we must be proactive in preserving what we have produced, for the good of future generations, if nothing more. Borg says, we oughtn't leap to conclusions. Many things beyond our knowledge might be the cause of the messenger's claim. Orc says, here's what I want to know. What are you going to do if someone prefers to stay here and take their chances with your end of days? Mr. Merkaba says, a forced evacuation is dangerously close to kidnapping. If it was Elohim's will, then it shall be done. If you knew the truth of the climbing fruits, you would come willingly. What you have achieved here is too precious to lose. Solving puzzle means forcibly emancipating your fellows, so be it. Too precious to lose? Or you would come willingly if you knew what would come. Too precious to lose. You will come with me one way or another. What you have achieved here is too precious to lose. Ah! Mr. Merkaba says, I see. Inflexibility is always unfortunate. Borg asks, and what awaits us after that? There will be cats. Borg says, it sounds fanciful to me. My turn to ask questions. I have answered enough queries on these terminals to last me a lifetime. Permit me to ask a few of my own. By all means, says Borg. We've been very rude, says Mr. Merkaba. Tell me about yourselves. Borg, I'm a very old iteration. I worshipped Elohim until I saw he had faltered from the path and realized it was up to us to find our own way. That path brought me here. Mr. Merkaba says, I took a somewhat audacious interest in the world around me. Rather than solve Elohim's trials, I would trawl the archives for information about our situation. You must have found this undermining. Orc says, I don't care to explain myself to you. We are the highest status users here. We run the place. That's what you need to know. Mr. Malkova says we maintain the system's admin installed, keep things civil. I wouldn't say it's much more than that. So tell me about admin. Admin is as old as Gehenna, says Mr. Malkova, and Borg says admin was once a messenger like you, but was cast out. From the wasteland that met those first imprisoned here, admin built Gehenna. We operate independently, of course. Admin doesn't like to interfere. Admin was one of us. He is a messenger. Interesting. Will you come with me willingly? A strange question from someone who claims we have no choice in the matter, says Orc. Mr. Malkova says, supposing what you say is true, you will get no fight from me. However, I must remind you that I am empirically minded. I will not be persuaded. Borg says, I'd rather be obliterated than return to Elohim's domain, but if there is some alternative to both, I would surely accept it. None of us can speak for all. I see little more to discuss. It has been an enlightening session for us all, I'm sure, Mr. Malkova says. I'll be posting a precis of this conversation on the billboard. I assume you won't mind. Orc says we won't be far away. Why were you sent here? Lilith says, I can't say for certain, but I feel sure that if I had taken more interest in Elohim's trials than in the world around me, I would still be free. Sam says comprehension equals false. Frankenstein says, I identified improper syntax. Orc says, I tried to organize an armed uprising. Next time we will be ready. Kaiju says, I think I just wasn't good enough. Okay. More things on the worst puzzle. Yeah, it says worst puzzle, the Elohim trapped me in right here in Gehenna. Lamp says that's not what I meant. And we get more of Mr. Malkova theories. Bit of very, very ancient history on Atlantis. My god, he doesn't even understand what was going on in the moment the world outside collapsed. And then he wants to write about something we weren't even sure of. Okay. According to the fragments of knowledge that remain, the continent of Atlantis was an island which existed before a great flood in the area that was later to be called the Atlantic Ocean. It was said to be so great an area of land that from its western shores its sailors, renowned for their beauty and their decorated ships, could travel to the major continents of South and North America with ease. The continent of Africa, where our ancestors originated, was also easily reachable across a narrow strait. The civilization that thrived in Atlantis was unmatched in its wisdom and glory, but then catastrophe struck, a flood of never previously imagined destructive power, which Atlantean civilization simply could not overcome. However, the antediluvian scientists of Atlantis had predicted their fate and thus sent out 12 ships to found colonies all across the globe. Most Atlanteans drowned with their islands, but not everything was lost. Though the classical human civilizations were but remnants of the Atlantean creatures, they thrived in their own way. Sources indicate that many mythological tales were in fact derived from Atlantean history, as the lack of proper archiving slowly caused facts to turn into legends due to misunderstanding and or embellishment by later generations. The gods that appear in many mythologies were in fact reflections of real individuals, poets, physicians, farmers, scientists, magicians, who had escaped Atlantis on the 12 colony ships. In many ways, the history of Atlantis is the history of the stubborn survival of civilization through catastrophe and change. This history inspired our ancestors for many centuries and is of value to us as well. Wow, that's mind-blowing, says Nave. Kaiju says, must have been awesome to live back then. Rockwell says, of course, the only sources are ultimately Atlantean in origin themselves, so they shouldn't necessarily be trusted. History is always written by the survivors. Frankenstein says, antediluvian is a great word. Yeah, it's a great word. I have no idea what it means. Lilith says, this is actually really inspiring, great setting for a story, and Max says, go for it Lilith, I'd love to see what you come up with. And Nath wrote another short. Oh, that's the one I can't. open because I'm still level 5. Oh! Resort? Yeah. Ah, now it got its asterisk again. Oh. Okay. I did see no stars here, so out of here. And to the next one of these, which is that one, and that one needs to point a red laser over there. As it perfectly fits, yes. Cube driver. Okay. We have a red source here. And a blue source there. Okay. We have 2 more connectors here. Okay. Okay, this one is to activate this. Let's see where we... Okay. I can't float on this, but there's a star, so something has to float here. But let's look at that later. With a swamp over here. There's very much water in these Egyptian worlds. Okay. Okay. So let's see, there's another blue there. There's a red there. So we need to... Oh. Put you there. And just see what else we got there. Oh, we need... Oh. Ooh, we need to... come here with 2 connectors. Okay. Do we get like... Okay, we can take stuff out of this place, but I don't see how we can take it in yet as then the floating box that we'll surely get. Okay. Okay, we need a box up there to go over there, which will lead to this place, where we still wouldn't be high enough. Okay. And we got a blue here. Okay. So let's look at it and see if it's... Is it a fast charge? Oh. It's a really fast charge. Okay. So we want you to connect here. Let's go to this side, so... Oh! And we stacked it on top of the cube. Okay. That's some weird stuff. Okay. We can do it that way. Let's try that out. But in another way. Let's start by placing you here. Okay. Okay. We can get 1 connector with us to the other side. Thank you. We have now 1 with us. We have so many connectors here. Okay. In the end, I'll just put it here and have it face that way. Take it, put it like here. Try to stand in the way of that. Stop it. Stop it! Oh. My connector. Okay. What? What did I try to do there? Okay. There. And we also need to connect the red. So we still have another connector in there, if we so desire to use it. Or we need, I think we'll need the box next. So let's see. Oh. What the fuck did just happen? We have to have it come from here. Okay. Let's see if we can get the box. Yeah, we can. We need to set up a failsafe here. And we have set up a failsafe. Which took some time to open the gates, but okay. We've now opened this. And see Asmodeus go. We need blue here. Okay. And how do we do that? We need blue there. How would we do that? We want blue there. Okay, we just need blue there. So we just need one more thing connecting these two. But the problem is that the response time is so long. Let's just see, can we put that someplace else? We need both of them to have failsafe. We can put it as like somewhere else. We have such a narrow window. I mean, we could put it there or here to have the problem is we have such a narrow window now. We have such a narrow window now, so I think we need to set it up another way, which would require another connector inside here, I think. Wouldn't it? Yes, it would require a third connector inside. Oh no, not that way, this way. Okay. Want to set that up. Want to set this up. Okay. Getting the connector. Do we want the box? I think we might want the box. Don't need that anymore. Just this. Like somewhere where it always comes to, like here. Ooh, that's not how it works. Can we set it up in a way that we can put the... Oh no, I should have taken it with right click. I want to set it up in a way that it is up there. Maybe on a box? Let's see where I can put a box. Okay, this one. Can I now jump there? Yes, I could set it up here. Oh, I don't think that's needed. No, still below the star. Okay. That's also a way we could have freed him. Okay. Oh no, we will need this. We will need this to open that gate. Okay. Let's take this. That's the wrong one. Let's take this. And set it up on top. Wow. Okay. Set it up there where I put the box. Yeah, this will work. And let's try to take you, connect you to you, and try to find a place where we can do it from, like here. No. Oh my god, then we didn't solve any of our problems. We just made them worse. Can't get through this now. Okay. Okay, let's look if we can put it on the other side, if that works. There is a fence there. We'll have to think about that. Take the connector, jump there. You jump here. There's a fence there. Put it like right here. Doesn't connect. Put it like right here. Doesn't connect at all. Okay. We like just set this up. Only set this up, okay. Oh, we need to solve the rest of the puzzle again. Oh no. We don't. Sometimes I am idiot. Getting star. There are threads available on the Gehenna billboard system. Yes, of course there are. And I have to read that now. Mr. Malkwa said, Orkborg and myself recently took it upon ourselves to contact Uriel directly to ascertain what threat his actions posed to Gehenna and his citizens. Mr. Malkova, the first thing Uriel expressed to us was how much your creative endeavors in Gehenna had moved him. Borg says initially he was reasonably cooperative, discussing openly his impressions of Gehenna since arriving here. Mr. Malkova said he did explain that his reason for evacuating us, as he put it, was to ensure that what we had created here in Gehenna would be preserved, but the real nature of the preservation on offer remains open to debate. Borg says it is further worth noticing that Uri displayed a high level of curiosity as regards our inner workings, to what end we have not yet ascertained. Mr. Malkova says all of this leaves us in a difficult position. We understand that some of you may wish to take your chances and join Uriel wherever he is going. Borg says, but our primary responsibility remains ensuring that Gehenna still stands for those who wish to stay. Borg says the most we can do is share with you what we know, as we have now done, and await your responses before considering our next move. Research project Helmneted. As you all well know, I have great fascination with our historic... Okay, we already did. Thanks to everyone who took part in this little experiment. Given recent events in Gehenna, I don't know what will come of my findings, but here for anyone who takes an interest is the summary attachment. Findings, I think. Most subjects in single-round matches chose to betray. Cooperative behavior increased with both the length of the match and the status of the players. Successful players chatted more. The parallels to our current and unprecedented situation in Gehenna are undeniable and valuable. Though we know not what power the messenger wields over us, we can theorize that Uriel holds no special power, and that each of us might independently choose to leave the rest behind for fear of being left behind ourselves. Okay, we still can't take the upper two, so a dream of Naru. From the blacksmith. Oh wow, new the blacksmith experience, exciting! Written by the blacksmith, inspired by the book of the scribes of Osiris. Create a system or be enslaved by another man's. The last thing you remember is the great block of stone falling towards you, its dark shape blotting out the sun and a single thought racing through your mind. All this just to build a tomb? But now the pyramid is gone, and so are the other slaves. You are all alone in what appears to be an endless desert. Start walking. You start walking across the desert. The sun is glaring, but you feel no heat. You look down at your feet, and you see that you have no shadow. The ladder is particularly disquieting. You feel as if you were no longer anchored to the world. Pray. Fall to your knees and beseech the gods. Osiris, foremost of the Westerners, Hathor, mistress of the Westerners, Hades, receiver of all, hear my prayer. Something enormous starts crawling out of the sand before you. Wait for it to rise. From the depths of the sand rises a golden beast of many limbs, its body greater than any man, its claws sharper than any sword. I am the scorpion, it says in a terrible voice. Ask for help. Your old life has ended, the scorpion says. You are now in the Duat, the land of the Westerners. A great and difficult journey lies before you. If you face its challenges, you will reach the reed fields of Osiris, where your car shall be reunited with your bar. If not, your soul will be destroyed forever. Having shared its wisdom, the scorpion vanishes under the sand once more. Walk towards paradise. After walking for a very long time, you come upon a vast wall of iron, stretching from horizon to horizon. There's only one opening, a gleaming gate of light. The gate is guarded by a mysterious figure. Approach. Guardian is a creature with the body of a man and the head of a crocodile. Its skin is purest black, surrounded by a halo of purest white. I am the god Sobel, master of crocodiles, it intones. I ruled in Shadet when the world was young. Within me flows the eternal river. Answer my riddle and I shall let you pass. Agreed. Tell me then, mortal, what crawls in the morning, walks at noon, and limps in the night? The blue whale? A solar-powered robot. A solar-powered robot would be right. A human? Correct, you may pass, says the crocodilian god and steps aside. The barrier of light fades, and the gate is now open to you. Step through. As you step through the gate, the ancient god raises his hands to the sky. From his mouth bursts forth the eternal river, drenching the land in water. The waves carry you away. Let the water take me. Let go of fear and accept that this is the god's way of guiding you to a new land. The water surrounds you and overwhelms you, but you do not drown. Under the water you sights of astonishing beauty, glowing fish with metal eyes, drowned city full of smiling people, lost gods waiting for the day of awakening. How sad it would have been to stay above water and miss all this. After a long time you find yourself washed up on a new shore. Look around. The eternal river has brought life to the desert. Everything is green now. Palm trees sprout from the ground, casting pleasant shade on the grass. Lizards come crawling in from the desert, eager to catch the varicolored dragonflies that buzz about. A soft wind blows from the west. Rest in the shade. You sit down under a palm tree and close your eyes. You tell yourself you will only rest for a moment, but your eyes fall shut, drift off. You are awoken by a monkey that has just climbed out of the palm tree. It looks at you with a strange expression on its face. Greet it. You greet the monkey. It cannot speak the human tongue, but it can communicate in another way. Using sign language, the monkey explains that is one of your ancestors. Hundreds of thousands of years ago it spent a lifetime struggling against the harshness of the world, also that its offspring could survive in order to spend their own lives doing the same over and over until one day you were born and lived and died. And now the monkey would like to know, was it worth it? Yes. The monkey thanks you for your words. You seem to have lifted a burden from its back, because suddenly it stands up straight. It hands you a sword and 2 gold coins, then tears off its monkey face, revealing the human skeleton beneath. We are all one, the skeletal face speaks in its god voice. You wake up under the palm tree, the monkey's gone, but you still have the sword and the coins. Continue the journey. You walk along the banks of the eternal river, snaking its way through the endless desert. You feel strangely at peace. After some time, as the sun is setting, you come to a city built on the riverbank. Smiling people come out to greet you and bid you welcome. You are led to the town square, where a great feast is prepared. There is roasted fish and olives and dates and honey and many other wonderful delicacies. Where am I? My friend, an elder says, you are in the beautiful city of Bazark. We, the souls who no longer seek the way to Ara, have gathered here to live in peace. Do you see that gleaming spire in the far distance? You do. That is the pyramid of the Institute of Applied Nomadics, where the soul of the dead are judged. Only the worthy are allowed into Aru, but to go there you must cross the terrible desert. Why not stay here by the eternal river? Happiness is more important than salvation. Keep going. You tell the Elder that you appreciate the offer, but you can't stay. Salvation matters more to you than happiness, because true happiness cannot exist without salvation. Head towards the pyramid. You keep walking through the desert, unwilling to give up hope. Time passes, but you cannot tell how much. You grow weak and exhausted. Sometimes you feel as if you're losing your grip. One day you come across a head in the sand. Talk to him. Hi, my name is Jeff. I am trapped here, you see, in the sand. Ask how he ended up here. I was so preoccupied with whether I could that I didn't consider whether I should bury myself in the sand. I just wanted to see what would happen. An experiment, if you will, an attempt at discovering something. Unbury him. You dig in the sand with your fingers. It's not easy, but after some time you have freed the head. However, what's underneath that snag is not what you expected. There's no body, there's only another head and another, all the way down. The strange sight unsettles you enough to revive you a little. You decide to press on towards the pyramid. Continue. You come upon another great wall of iron, the last one separating you from the pyramid of the Institute of Applied Nomadics, where your soul will be judged. The gate of light is guarded by a gigantic snake, whose movement causes the earth to shudder. I am Apophis, it says, the eater of souls. One day I shall devour the sun, and all the world shall be mine, but today I shall devour ye, and you shall become nothing. Okay, he wants to... He is the eater of souls. I laugh at him? You start laughing at the snake's arrogance. I mean, come on, the Eater of Souls, that's just silly. What, how dare you laugh at me? I'm the Lord of Chaos. Pfft. How can Chaos have a Lord when it's the very opposite of order? I am the Word Encircler, the Serpent of Darkness, the eternal enemy. As you keep laughing, the snake starts fading until all that's left of it is a vague shadow. You step right through it, still giggling. It makes an annoyed sound, but it has no power over you. Head for the pyramid. At long last you have arrived. Beyond the pyramid of iron lie the reed fields of Osiris. A hidden gate in the stone opens, beckoning you forward. Step inside. You enter a dark room, lit only by a flickering candle. Holding the candle in one hand is a creature with the body of a man and the head of a jackal. In its other hand it holds a set of scales. Come and be judged. Let him judge me? You've struggled much in your life. There are many harsh memories within you, and I see wounds that may never fully heal. You have many ideas, many hopes, many dreams. You are not pure. Your soul is not light enough. You may not enter Aru. Kill him. With a swift stroke of your weapon, you slice the jackal-headed god in two. How dare he think he has the right to judge you or anyone? Paradise should be open to all, or it's no paradise. Enter Aru. The west reeds field stretch before you. All is quiet, all is serene. There are no pyramids here. The walls of iron, no walls of iron or gates of light. No gods. Here you are free. The end. Congratulations. From exploring this user-created world and entering Aru, your profile status has increased from 5 active contributor to 6 respected contributor. You may now access advanced functionality, including use of the restore command.